Yo guys, what is good? Welcome back on the Uncle Sharma channel. You guys know what time it is. Scout report time. Inter finally have a striker. We went from Lukaku, Morata, Scamacca, Balogun, Taremi, then back to Balogun, Beto, and then we've ended up here with MARKO ARNAUTOVIC returning to Inter after 13 years. When we look at it in that context, obviously it's hard not to blame Interisti if they're saying, is this really the Dzeko Lukaku replacement? You can see why a lot of Interisti are fuming. But in today's video, I'm actually going to make the case for why he is actually useful. However, unlike the usual scout report videos, I'm actually going to start off with my concerns. And I have two big concerns when it comes to MARKO ARNAUTOVIC. Let's get into it. Well, first of all, it's the elephant in the room. 34 years of age. It's the fee, 10 million euros. According to reports, it's a 2 million loan with obligation. It's 10 million. 10 million for a 34 years old is overpaying. It's too much. And the other day, I read that actually Arnautovic is now the second most expensive plus 33-year-old player after Cristiano Ronaldo. Crazy. Although he still costs less money than Dzeko costs for Inter on the books because of his wages, amortization, etc. It's 10 million that you're never getting back, and especially in Inter's financial situation, I don't get it. The second big worry I have regarding Arnautovic is his injury record. I mean, take a look at this, guys. It's a big concern, and especially if we compare it to Dzeko. Dzeko virtually had 2 years of pretty much being injury-free. Like, that guy was an absolute machine, especially with how much Inzaghi used him. It was pretty much a miracle how that guy went 2 years without almost any injury. And looking at Marco's recent injury history, I have concerns that he'll be able to replicate this, to be honest. Last year, he had a big foot injury that you see at the top that kept him out for a while. And he also seems to get a lot of minor muscular issues here and there, which is not what you need from one of the rotation options. And we know from Joaquin Correa, Sensi, these guys, even these little injuries, they add up. Well, actually, I lied. I have three concerns, but this third one is a little bit more minor. It's his temperament, his behavior, his attitude. He has always been a bit of a hothead, which himself admits, and he also says that he has become a lot more religious over the years and more of a family man, after you have kids. So that's good to hear. On the pitch, though, you can often be seen getting into arguments with players, referees, which is a good sign of passion and grinta, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, it can overspill at times, and the idea of him and Lautaro up front losing their heads, I'm already scared of that side. Off the pitch, there was also a controversial incident in 2020 where he was accused of racism towards Albanians while celebrating against North Macedonia. He did apologize for his angry celebration, but I don't have enough knowledge around the topic to comment on it. I just hope that those kind of things don't happen at Inter, especially, we have an Albanian on the team, Aslani. He is, of course, Austrian, although he has roots from Serbia as well from his parents' side. He is the record cap holder for Austria. It's quite a surprising stat that I found out when making this video. And he has become a leader over the years. As again, most cap player for Austria. He's one of the leaders alongside David Alaba for that team. For Bologna, he was also captain when Soriano wasn't there. So he's definitely developed that side of his game as well. Okay, now let's move on to the statistical side of the video, and this is where the positives will start. Our sporting director, Piero Ausilio, was recently quoted saying that Inter need goals, and Arnautovic over the last 2 seasons has scored 24 of them in 54 appearances. That's a rate of a goal every 2 games almost, which is really, really good. And last season, he got 10 in 21. Pulling up his FBF run numbers, starting off with his shooting. I think Arnautovic is the perfect example when we talk about strikers peaking late. As you can see, his shooting has become especially efficient at Bologna. He only takes 1.69 shots per 90, which is terribly low. Puts him in the bottom 4% of strikers in the top 5 leagues in Europe. But what he does with that shooting is fantastic. Half of those shots are actually on target, and half of those turn into a goal. You can also see he's outperformed his XG considerably, and he's done that for a couple of seasons now. And all these numbers, you look at them, you say, wow, so Inter are signing a clinical striker. I'm not sure if I'm willing to commit to that statement. I think he's had a couple of very clinical, efficient seasons at Bologna. I don't know if I'm willing to call him an efficient striker, but it's a good sign because we know Inter, we've had inefficient strikers over the last few seasons, and we struggle at converting the hundreds of chances that we create. So It's a positive sign. Now let's move on to his passing, and you can see when you look at his passing stats, it starts to explain why he takes so many such little shots at Bologna. Thiago Motta likes to use his forwards almost as false nines. He likes them to occupy spaces around the box, around the area, outside the area, to occupy defenders and let the midfielders make marauding runs into the box. And Arnautovic is great at doing this, linking up with his teammates. As you can see, lots of passes attempted, completed over a variety of distances, key passes, progressive passes. In this sense, you can see why Inzaghi wanted him or Taremi, a striker that can replace Dzeko. This is that profile. You know, Dzeko loved to move around the defense. Even though he was the big number 9, he actually was the one moving around more than Lautaro. And similarly to Dzeko, MARKO will be seen taking up spaces on the wings, to drag defenders with him or create passing combinations, which he's good at. I can see him and Lautaro definitely striking up a nice connection. And sometimes he takes it back to his days as a winger, sometimes trying audacious dribbles. They don't always work, but again, he adds a different dimension to Inter in that sense. You know, technique-wise, we've always known since the beginning of his career, he was compared to Ibrahimovic, and you can see why at times, you know, his size, his physique, but the ability with the ball is still really good. Compared to Dzeko, Arnautovic has much more of a spring in his step and will also provide the ability to run in behind. He scored a few goals at Bologna like this. After Augusto, Thuram and Frattesi, Inter have another weapon to use in transitional moments. Looking at the data MB spider graph comparing him to Dzeko directly, you can see the similarities there, although you can see MARKO will need to improve his aerial winning percentages for sure. Although at the same time, Bologna under Thiago Motta, they like to keep the ball on the floor, so that is probably why that stat looks so bad. One really important aspect for the Inter striker is the ability to play with the back to goal, and Arnautovic has improved this over the years. He's always had the physique to do it, but similarly to Thuram, you know, played most of his early career as a winger. He's probably had to learn how to do this over the years. He definitely can replicate Dzeko's technical ability in terms of first-time touches and link-up play, but he should have a little bit more juice in his legs, to be honest, left, because, you know, Dzeko would be seen, you know, roaming around the pitch, but then he wouldn't have the juice to either get into the box, run into the box, or take a shot, or even take a shot from outside of the box, which was part of Dzeko's arsenal when he was younger, but Father Time catches up with everyone. So hopefully at 34 years of age, Arnautovic still has that juice left in him to pull off some of these amazing goals that he scored over the years. Again, his link-up play and especially his aerial duel ability is something that's going to need to improve on. Again, FB Ref showing that this is not an area where he's shining in at the moment. Overall, as I said, the fee paid for him is definitely overpaying for him. But at the same time, fee only matters if a player flops, or if you're trying to sell a player, then, you know, the accountants get involved. 10 million euros, if this guy delivers at least the output that Dzeko delivered last season, which was 14 goals in all competitions, I will be happy, and I think that will be a worthwhile signing. And I think he will do it. And it should be the minimum target for both Thuram and Dzeko. They both should aim to at least match Dzeko's output from last season, which was the 14 goals. And if they both can add up to around 30 goals together, plus Lautaro's usual guaranteed around 20 plus, that should set Inter very, very well for a Scudetto charge. And I think Arnautovic will do that if he can stay injury free. That's it for the video, guys. What did you make of this video? Hope you guys enjoyed. Did I manage to change your mind on Arnautovic if you were against this move, or are you just even more convinced about Arnautovic? Let me know in the comments down below what you make of this. How many goals is Arnautovic going to score this season? I want to know in the comments down below. Let me know. Of course, you guys know what to do before leaving. Thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. See you for the next one. Is Arnautovic going to be the last signing of the season? Hope not. Better be not. Ciao ragazzi. Forza Inter.